Hey guys, my name is Peter Roth, and I've generated over 100 million in sales for my call center clients. I'm also the CEO of Scalify, and we build fully managed outbound call centers built to help roofing companies, HVAC, solar, window sales, and general home service businesses generate in-home appointments that actually turn into sales. In this video, I'm gonna tell you the shocking truth about call centers in-home services that nobody really talks about. So make sure you stick around until the very end of this video, because if you own a home services company and you manage a sales team, or you run ads, or you generate leads, or you rely on consistent follow-up to book appointments, my most powerful tip is going to be at the end, because I am a tip tease like that. And I know that sounds weird. If you like this type of content, make sure to drop a like, save this video for later, and subscribe for more. Most roofing companies think they have a lead problem. They think they need more Facebook ads. They think they need more Google leads. They need more door knockers, more referrals, or more canvassers, more marketing, more volume, more of everything. In reality, a lot of home services companies are not losing because they don't have enough leads. They're losing because the leads they already have are being mishandled. They're being ignored, or they're followed up too late. They're qualified incorrectly, or they're completely wasted before the salesperson ever even gets a chance to close them. And that's the part that no one really wants to admit, because it's way more comfortable to say, we just need more leads, than it is to say, we have a leaking revenue every single day because our call center process is broken, right? That even sounds messy. Now, most home services companies think a call center is just someone making calls, answering questions, trying to book appointments. And that mindset is exactly why so many, home services companies lose money without even realizing it. A real call center is not just like a phone service. A real call center is like an actual conversion engine. It's often the first real conversation between your business and the customer. It controls the first impression. It controls the urgency, the trust, the qualification, and in many cases, whether that lead ever even turns into revenue at all. In home services, that matters more than most industries, like roofing leads or HVAC, right? They're extremely time sensitive. When someone has a storm damage, let's say, for example, or a leak or missing shingles, something like that, or maybe they're just looking for an estimate, they're not always patiently sitting around waiting for your company to get back to them. They're calling multiple companies, right? They need service now. They're filling out multiple forms. They're comparing their options. They're deciding really quickly who feels the most professional, who responds the fastest, and who makes the process feel the easiest. They spend thousands of dollars to try to generate the lead, but then the call gets handled like shit, okay? Or the person making the call sounds bored, or they're rushed, or they're just untrained, or they're confused, or they're just trying to muscle through the conversation, right? Or the appointment gets booked with no real qualification, or no context, or there's no urgency, and there's no proper handoff to the sales rep. And then the owner looks at the numbers and says, oh, the leads are bad. But the leads aren't the real problem. The problem is the process itself. Now, on a side note, if you're totally disagreeing with me about anything that I'm saying so far, I want to hear about it. So leave a comment on this video, and I promise to respond to absolutely everyone. The shocking truth is that a lot of roofing companies are blaming marketing for what is actually a sales infrastructure issue. They'll say things like, the Facebook leads don't work, or Google leads are too expensive, or homeowners are just shopping around. They say, people don't answer the phone anymore. And sometimes, yeah, there's truth to that for sure. But a lot of the time, the company just doesn't know how to convert the leads properly. Because if you call too late, the lead quality drops, a lot. If you don't build trust immediately, the lead quality drops also a lot. If you ask the wrong questions, the lead quality also drops a ton. If you don't confirm the appointment properly, the show rate drops, and drastically. And if you don't give the sales rep the right notes, the close rate drops because they'll be missing vital information. If you don't follow up correctly, the customer disappears into oblivion, and then everyone blames the lead source. But the real issue is that your business doesn't have a clean system between lead generation, call handling, follow-up, and eventual revenue. The middle part is where millions of dollars are won or lost. And that's exactly what no one tells you. A roofing call center, or an HVAC, or home services in general should not just be asking, hey, what's your name and phone number and address? That's basic. We all get that. A great call center should be controlling the conversation. It should identify the customer's actual problems. Is it storm damage? Is it an active leak? Is it an old roof? Is your HVAC system failing? Is it blowing hot air, right? Is it an emergency? Is this a price shopper? Is this someone who's already talked to 3 other contractors? All this stuff matters, because not every lead is going to be treated the same way. A homeowner with an active leak needs a different conversation than someone casually shopping for a roof replacement 6 months from now. A homeowner whose HVAC system is completely broken and blowing hot air in the middle of an Arizona summer is very different than someone who's in the middle of temperate California during the fall. Not that big big of a deal. A homeowner who's, with insurance being involved needs a different conversation than someone paying cash. A homeowner who already has 3 estimates needs a different approach than someone talking to the first company that they've talked to, right? And if your call center treats all of those people the same, you're losing out, my friend. Sorry. So the job is not just to book the appointment. The job is to create a cleaner path to the sale. Now that means the call center should be warming the customer up by reducing uncertainty, right? It should be making the homeowner feel understood. It should be setting the expectations properly. It should be making the appointment feel important. It should be giving the sales rep context before they ever even arrive, because the better the call is handled up front, the easier the close becomes later. Now, this is something most people miss. They think the salesperson closes the deal in the house. The truth is, the close starts on the first real conversation. If the customer feels like your company is professional and organized and helpful and responsive and all that good stuff before the appointment, your sales guy's walking into a way better situation. But if that first conversation is messy and rushed and vague and unprofessional, the salesperson now has to repair trust before they can even start selling. That's a way harder sale. And it didn't have to be that way. Another major problem in call centers for home services is follow-up. Most companies think follow-up means calling once, maybe twice, and then moving on. That ain't follow-up. That's barely trying. In roofing, people are busy. In HVAC, people are busy. In window replacement, they may just not care that much. They get distracted, they forget, they compare other options, they talk to their spouse, they wait for their insurance, they procrastinate, right? So if your follow-up system is weak, you're losing deals that should have been won. And again, the owner usually blames the lead, but sometimes that lead simply needed more touch points, maybe needed better timing or better messaging or just a better process to begin with. The fortune is in the follow-up, we've all heard it, right? But only if that follow-up is actually organized and effective, right? Not just random. A real call center has structure, it's got speed to lead, standards. It has call scripts, obviously, but they're not robotic. It has qualification criteria, so we're not just sending through random leads that aren't even qualified and renters of homes and garbage like that. It's got follow-up sequences. It has appointment confirmations. It has call tracking. It's got quality control. It has accountability. It knows which leads were contacted, which ones were not, which ones were booked, which ones no-showed, which ones canceled, which ones need to be followed up with, and which ones are actually worth the sales team's time. That's the difference between a call center and just some random VA making calls. And that's the huge mistake I see most companies do. They hire just some random VA and they tell them, all right, bro, get dialing. And then they wonder why the results aren't pouring in, right? And home services companies need to understand this because your margins can get destroyed by inefficiency real quickly. You already know this. If you screw all this up, you're not saving money, you're quietly bleeding money. One missed call attempt can be a $15,000 roof or a $20,000 HVAC system or $60,000 in window replacements. One bad first impression can send a homeowner to your competition. One slow response can make your ad spend useless. One poorly qualified appointment can waste hours of a sales rep's day and cause them to quit. One weak follow-up process can turn warm leads cold. And when you multiply that across dozens, hundreds, or even thousands of leads, the losses become huge. This is why I believe home services companies need to stop thinking of call centers as an expense and start thinking of them as a revenue protection system, because that's what they really are. A strong call center protects your marketing spend. It protects your sales team's time. It protects your brand's reputation. It protects your close rate. It protects the customer experience. And most importantly, it protects the revenue that otherwise would have disappeared because nobody had the right system in place. Another thing nobody tells you about is that the best call center reps are not just nice on the phone. Being polite matters, obviously, but politeness alone doesn't convert, right? The best reps understand intent. They can hear when a customer is serious versus someone's just sort of gathering information. They know how to ask questions without making the customer feel interrogated. They know how to create urgency without sounding pushy. They know how to guide the conversation without making it feel scripted. They know how to make the homeowner feel like, okay, this company actually knows what the hell they're doing. And that feeling is powerful because people don't just buy a roofing service or an HVAC system based on price. They buy it based on trust and certainty and speed and professionalism and blah, blah, blah. And the belief that your company is going to actually make the process easier for them. That starts on the phone. The call center is often the first real moment where the customer decides what kind of company they think you are. Are you organized? Are you professional? Are you confident? Are you helpful? Are you desperate? Are you confused? Are you just another contractor? Are you obvious company that someone should trust? That perception begins immediately. And once that perception is created, it's super hard to undo. This is why the call center has to be trained like a sales asset, not some admin department. Because when trained properly, the call center can increase booked appointments, it can improve show rates, it can improve close rates, it can improve lead quality, and it can make the whole business more predictable and scalable. And that's, I think, what you guys want the most of, right? It's actually grow your company. But when handled poorly, it can make even good marketing look like crap. And this is the part that, home services companies need to take really, really seriously. You can have the best ads in the world, but if the call handling is weak, the results will suck. You can have great salespeople, but if they're being sent weak appointments with no context, they're just going to struggle. You can have a strong brand, but if the first call feels unprofessional, you lose trust. The entire machine has to work together. The call center creates the lead, converts that opportunity to a real appointment. The salesperson then turns that appointment into a sale. And the follow-up system makes sure nothing falls through the cracks. One piece is broken, the whole damn thing falls apart. So, if you're a home services business owner watching this, here's what I would look at immediately. How fast are you actually contacting new leads? Not what you think is happening, but what's actually happening. Like how many leads are getting missed? How many leads are getting one call attempt and then being totally forgotten? How many appointments are being booked without proper qualification? How many sales reps are showing up without enough information? How many no-shows could have been prevented just with better confirmation? How many deals are sitting in your pipeline right now because there's no structured follow-up going on? Because these types of questions reveal the truth of what's really going on. Not your feelings, not guesses, not our leads are bad, but cold, hard facts. And in home services, the companies that win are usually not the ones with some magical secret. They're the ones that respond faster, they follow up better, they sound more professional, they track everything, they create a smoother customer experience from the first call all the way to the close of the deal. The truth is, a lot of home services companies are not being out-marketed, they're being out-operated. They're not losing because the competitors have better leads. They're losing because the competitors are handling the same type of leads better. And that should be great news to you because it means you can fix it. You don't need to completely reinvent your business. You need to tighten your process. You need better call handling. You need better qualifications. You need better follow-up. You need better appointment setting. You need better tracking. You need a cleaner handoff between marketing and call center and sales. And when you fix these things, then the same amount of leads can produce way more revenue. That's where the breakthrough happens. Most people try to grow their home services company by adding more leads, spending more money, hiring more salespeople, and then generally the only thing that ends up happening is just creating a shit ton of chaos. But the real breakthrough happens when you fix the leaks inside of your system first. Because when your call center is built correctly, every lead becomes more valuable. Your reps waste less time, your appointments become cleaner, your customers trust you faster, your close rate improves, and the business becomes easier to scale. Isn't that what you want? If you want to see how all this stuff is being applied at scale inside of real roofing, HVAC, solar, window sales, general home services businesses, go check out Scalify using the links in the description below. I built entire systems around removing friction from the sales process and turning conversations into clean, structured decision-making flows that help businesses convert more of the opportunities they already have. And if you don't have enough of those, I promise you we'll get you an endless amount of new opportunities. And once you see how that looks in real operation, it becomes really obvious why some companies close at a completely different level than everyone else. So thanks for watching. Remember to hit that like button and subscribe for more. If you want to check out even more in-depth guide on how you can improve your sales skills and your company's sales overall, click this video right here.